I got my box back. I was at an opal cutting class in Young Harris, Georgia. I bought a whole bunch of stuff and I cut 20 opals. Every opal that I cut is different. I also bought some killer opals. This is the first opal that I cut. Do you know what this is? Because it kind of looks like a yellowish mustardy type of a color. It's hard to believe it's an opal. After I polished it, it's a little free form. It has some cool lines in it, but it's called a fern opal. There's opals that I never even knew existed. The next one I'm going to show you, it's an opal and it's a breakfast food. So I'm showing you the back. As you notice, it has multiple layers going through it. I polished on 6 different wet wheels and I buffed it on 4 additional wheels, and this is what came out of it. Can anybody tell what opal this is? You're never gonna see a stone like this, and I have polished it smooth. This is a bacon opal. That's worth a like and subscribe as it is. Alright, this one here is really pretty. It came out really beautiful. It almost looks like a tablet. You know, Pepto-Bismol kind of pink, I don't know, but it's a pink Australian opal. You should see the rough that this came from. I think that I didn't realize, one, that there were so many different styles, and that the stone that built around them is very coarse and abrasive, so you can grind that away. It's a Honduran andesite matrix. It's an opal going through the center, this vein, and I freeform cut it for possibly pendant or a ring. This is almost looks like the stars in the middle of the night, and that you might see the aurora borealis going through the sky, because when you take this outside in the natural sunlight, it really catches the light. It's beautiful. This is a Honduran basalt opal. My teacher, she has been teaching for many years. She really had a lot of knowledge. I said, do you have anything really nice? This is a 6.41 carat natural lightning ridge black opal. You can notice the back, it's kind of beat up because that's how it comes out of the ground when they mine it. And then on the other side, you've got all these colors. Just unbelievable. Sometimes you can't see the colors until you start to move them around. This is a Peruvian opal, and it's very similar to this pink opal, and it's indicative of having these little pocks of black marks in the stone. This was a big stone, and we cut it down. I changed the angle so I'd get the dots in the center, and it almost reminds me of like a constellation or something. People that love pink. Let me ask you a question. Type in the comments below. What do you see here? Because this is a picture almost. To me, it's almost like the front of the Grand Canyon, and then way down light color here is the base of the Grand Canyon, and in the background there's a mountain or a volcano or a cloud in the background. Can you see that? So I cut this freeform, and the name of it is a Spencer picture opal. I never knew these opals existed, and that was one reason why I wanted to go to the class, just to learn some really cool things. Cooper Pedy is a very common opal. It has a lot of pinks and reds, some greens in it. Most of these stones are just to be cut for the class. They might not be considered the highest grade that you can get, but they sure are unique. This is a really neat looking boulder opal. Now check out what it looks like on the back before I started cutting it. It's disgusting. How would you ever know that was an opal? And then when you turn it over, this was the last opal we cut because it is so nasty to cut. It is so dirty, it turns your hands red, and it looks like rust as you're grinding it away, and then you have to polish and polish and polish. But it really came out cool. There's little veins of opal throughout. Ah, this one is really pretty. This is also a lightning rich black opal, but this one is pastel colors. You've got this green wave, and then a wave above it of a darker purplish, and I can see purples in the different areas. It really has quite a bit of activity going on. Now there's 2 problems. There's an inclusion right here, and I didn't know how deep it went, so I left it. And my plan is to drill a hole, put a gold tube, and set a teal color diamond for sparkle. And I may do the same here, or I may cut the stone here. Because this looks like a wave, I could create a wave here and another wave here. Please tell me your thoughts. What do you think of the stone? Check this out. That's what it started like that. That's what it looks like. And they see a little color through the edge and they say, oh, there's opal in here. Natural Andamuka. If you saw this stone on the ground at the beach or something, I don't know whether you would realize that it's an opal, but watch what happened after I polished it. And it really does look like the beach. It's like you're walking on the beach and here's the shoreline and here's the water. One night they had an auction because this school, the Young Harris School in Georgia, they teach everything from wire work to cutting cabochon stones. The teachers or instructors or students give away some of the stuff that they've made, and they raise money for scholarships. 3 scholarships a year, which I think is fantastic. This card was from my instructor Sarah. It has multiple different kinds of opals, several black opals. What's this one? Mexican matrix opal. But it almost looks like an eggshell. And then inside the eggshell, it's like, whoa, there's the yolk inside. Is it a little dinosaur egg? No, it's not a dinosaur egg, but it's pretty cool. Here is a larger matrix opal, and that's what it started like at first. It's actually much larger, and we cut it down to this, and it was flat. And then I put a dop stick on it, and then I turned it over, and I started cutting. And here I've got the matrix in the center in a row, and the largest one right there in the center. Isn't that neat? Who would say that was an opal? Not many people would know. I sure as heck didn't know. This is a really cool opal. Watch this. This is not orange. This is red. And when you see red in an opal, a lot of times you see oranges, and orange's value is one thing. Red jumps the value up tremendously. And this is a really cool stone. And as you turn it, you can see in the background purples and blues and some greens. So these are 2 stones that I bought because they were just, to me, they're just spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. This is opal that they took. It was one chunk and they cut it in half. And check this out. To me, it almost looked like ferns growing up in the bottom of a field. Maybe a white snowy sky, you know? I also got these little ones. Alright, so the little one is orange. Can you see the color difference? That's the red that I mentioned earlier. So that slight color difference changes the price dramatically. I think I'm going to move on to some of the other packages of stuff that I bought. I bought this bag, and we're going to go through it right now. At least some of it, because I need your help. I could make a few of them into jewelry. I could give them to the kids when they come in. Does anybody know what this stone is? Or this one? Or maybe this one. This is incredible. When I was a paper boy, there was a lady that collected rocks, and she would let me go through her rock pile, and I would find things that she didn't like geodes that weren't spectacular, but they were pretty darn spectacular to me. So I picked them up and I kept them, and I had them growing up. I had all these different stones. It was pretty fun. This was a bag of turquoise. And there's a lot of times people really like turquoise. I was thinking, you know, what if you could make something that would be really simple and people could come in and say, I want a turquoise earring. So it's on a sterling silver wire. Maybe a bead would go in between here. I could make a sterling silver feather that would come down. But if anybody wants me to make something up out of anything, just let me know. We make up stuff for people all the time, but we typically focus on precious opals. And that's why I went to the school. So if you like what you saw today, just hit the like and subscribe, please. And I hope you have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. Take it easy. Bye.